Okay, so Abba wants us to have a strong fast life. All right. And so I'm gonna give a few tips on how to make your fast easier. Then after that, Corliss is gonna she's and I'm gonna just say this. I never said this to Corliss before, but when we first came in the truth, Corliss was the one who was telling us, "Hey, y'all need to fast, whatever, whatever." Dry fast. I was like, "What kind of fast we gonna do?" She said, "Dry." She said, "We're gonna do it dry." I was like, "What dry? What do you mean dry? I know what dry mean." But she is the one who really pushed us, to fast and told us how important it is. And so I just wanted to let her know that I really appreciate that, sis. Uh, um, Let me give a few tips on how to fast. Okay.
This video is brought to you by Bellamy Transport. If you're in and around Dar es Salaam, think about giving us a call. Now back to the video.
Okay. So one of the things when you're fasting, you get this dry mouth. Okay. Or excuse me. Also, you get dehydrated, and so yeah, we know with you fasting, okay, gargle. But when you get really dehydrated, one of the ways that you can hydrate yourself is to actually take a cold shower. You're like, oh well, we don't, black folks don't take cold showers. Yeah, I understand that. And so what you can do is you're in the shower. We all take hot showers. And so what you do is you turn it on, cool as you can stand it 30 seconds and then turn it back and just do that approach, a couple times, 4 or 5 times, and it will actually give you energy, during the fast. Okay, and another thing you can do is also realize, we read about David, and when David fasted, he was weeping, he was laying down. He wasn't going out to work. Most of us have to work. So when you set up your fast, set it up around that. If I know that, I know Simi, he drives tractors and does a lot of heavy lifting. Well, on those days, hey, I'm not gonna set it up then. I'll set it up, on one of my lighter days. Because the people in the Bible, Ezra sat in the field and ate flour. Well, that wasn't his fast, but he sat in the field 7 days. He didn't have to go to no work. So when you're setting up your fast, remember that. Set it up. Be smart about it. It ain't like you it ain't like you tricking Abba or nothing, but we have to have some common sense as well. And when we first fasted, it was, quarter was like 3 days dry, whatever, whatever. And we did that. And we struggled, but we did that. But if you're not used to fasting, try 12 hours. And I'm not talking about 12 hours you sleep. 12, 12 hours you up. 12 hours. And then move to 24 and 36 and 48 and so on and so on. Be sensible about it. But the point is, this needs to be a routine that we do. This is the only way we're going to hear everything, more things, greater things from Abba is to be doing this. And so that's all the tips I have. Corliss, you can unmute and go ahead and give us tips.
Hey y'all. Okay, so let me just say y'all, one of the things I love about the scripture is fasting, right? I don't always get it right. Let me just say that. And I've been fasting a long time, but I don't always get it right. And some of the times I am fasting, it's a struggle. So don't, if you've never fasted, just starting to fast, don't ever look at the people who've been doing it for a while as if though they got it all together, because it's a hit and miss. Each fast is different, so you really never know how this fast is going to take you, right? So just want to start off. So as I was doing this study, y'all, I started thinking, I was like, who told us we had to eat 3 times a day? Where did that come from? Who said that? Where did it start? So at the before the 17th century, our people really only ate either 1 or 2 times a day. White folk, right? They only ate 1 to 2 times a day, and their main meal of the day was dinner. So as time moves on and as we continue to evolve, breakfast started to be introduced, right, into our lives. But it was exclusively for the aristocrats, right? That's who ate it. But as the Industrial Revolution came about, basically saying the working class and trying and standardizing the times of work and things like that, they felt like, oh, people need fuel or food to sustain their workday. So that's where you come into the meals 3 times a day. I feel like that's a bunch of malarkey. Okay. So as he as Los told us earlier, Genesis 1:29 talks about that it was the herbs and the fruits and things that was going to sustain us. I think if y'all with me, I think the body and the way Abba created us, this temple is absolutely amazing. Do y'all understand he created something that does not have to be plugged in, don't need batteries? Do you understand? That blows me away, y'all, every time I think about it. Like, how did you do this? Like, how I want to be up there with you to see how all this thing clicks and how it's working and ticking. All we got to do is be obedient. So he made our bodies so where they could be so optimized to heal their itself. Our bodies heal itself. Y'all, I'm in medicine. And when I tell you I'm at a point in my life, I don't believe none of that crap they tell us. I don't believe the stuff they tell us to put in our bodies to heal. I believe none of it. Think about this. The medicines that they give us, where do you think it came from? A plant. Then they turn around, they strip it, put all these chemicals and things into it and say, here, take this, it's gonna heal you. And yet we keep going back. We keep going back. Keep getting refills. Keep doing it. That don't work. Okay, cool. Now, as I was studying, this what tripped me out. This what I found out, y'all. Did y'all know that over here in the U.S. alone, we have over 80,000 chemicals that they put in our foods? Y'all, I could have fell out. I could say, what now? Who? 80,000. Do you understand how scary that is? That's scary. Like y'all literally killing us. So that as well as the radiation from computers, cell phones, the GMOs, but all that is designed to, and you know what? They don't care who they kill, long as they kill them Israelites. They don't care. Everybody else is collateral damage. If you get it or you don't get it, it's collateral damage. All right. So you have they give us a whole lot of different other fastings. As Lois was saying, I totally disagree. They're fad fastings, right? You got this intermittent fasting. That's not what scripture says. You miss a meal. Okay. You got what they call mono fasting, which means you eat only one type of food. If it's nothing but a vegetable or a fruit, that's all you're doing. You got a water fast. I wouldn't say that. None of that is in scripture. But what we're supposed to do, a dry fast, that's the one they put the last on the list. That's the one they say, I'll do it if you can. Consult your physician to see, you got all these ailments going on, which you might not be able to do it. I wonder why. So the Hebrew word for fast is sum. That is TSUM. Okay. That means to cover one's mouth or to abstain from food. That is what we're supposed to do. So Proverbs 25 and 2 says, it made me think about this. It says, Abba conceals a thing, but it's the honor of the kings to search out a matter. All right. Abba tells us the what. This is what you're supposed to do. He don't always give you the why, do we? You looking like, why I gotta do that? Do what I told you to do. Period, point blank. You'll get the why later. So as we go on, as I went on this, as I began to dig into this fasting journey, I love it. He told you a couple of them. I'm just gonna get a little bit more deep. He said fasting decreases inflammation, right? Inflammation is the first sign of some type of ailment or issue that you have in your body, i.e., people have inflammation in their joints, arthritis, that you can't move, you aching in the mornings, right? And so that starts most diseases. So what doctors do is what they call a C-reactive protein, a lab test they can check to see whether or not your body has inflammation. Fasting helps heart health. It decreases your blood pressure, it improves your cholesterol, and it improves your triglycerides, right? It helps improves insulin resistance. Women that have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, it improves that. It improves diabetes because it also decreases insulin resistance, right? So it helps um your the glucose that's in your body, it helps it to get into your cells, right? And sometimes you don't always have, because you know how, listen, in all of my nursing career, there have been very few times that I've seen patients who can manage their diabetes with food alone. They're either on some type of pill or insulin. But did you know that you don't have to utilize much insulin if you are physically fit, you working out, you're exercising, doing all that? Why? You don't need the insulin because your cells are going to automatically take this glucose in because it needs the energy, right? Okay. So then we have brain function. It increases it. You know what they told you in anybody in healthcare, they told you that you can't regenerate nerves. Lies. All lies. You have what they call brain derived neurotropic factors. They begin to increase when you fast. Okay. You begin to generate new brain cells. You have an increase of blood flow to your brain. You begin to think better and quicker. All right. Um, we also have a growth hormone. Did you know that if you go to and get a growth hormone shot, that joker is anywhere from $800 to $3,000 monthly? That's crazy when you can get it for free. It's already built in. It's free. All you got to do is fast. It makes you stronger, it builds muscles, and it helps maintain your youthfulness. Okay, boy. I mean, they pimped us. That's all I got to say. So the ketones he was talking about was this. So you remember when I told you earlier, they say you got to have all this food. You need 3 times a day meal so that it can help generate energy so you can work. So what happens is your your body begins to break down fat. The byproduct of fat is the ketones. When those ketones are released, they give you energy. Now I'm gonna tell you, I just got off a 5-day fast. And by the time, I didn't know if I was gonna make it at day 3. I'm just gonna tell you, I was like, oh my goodness, I ain't gonna survive this one. But day 4, I woke up, I was like, dog, I feel good. Boy, I went to work, did everything I was supposed to do with no problem. They felt fine, no problem. It's because of the ketones that had begun to be broken down that gave me the energy that I needed. Who would have thought about that? Yeah, no, I ain't smart enough to say, let's add this into my my DNA, these ketones, so that I can have energy. That was Abba. He gave it to all of us. Now, the one I like the most is the autophagy or autophagy. What autophagy does, this is the example I like to give. All right, so we got cells, right? So the more we eat, our cells are so smart. We do one or two things. We take our energy and we rebuild our cells from the materials that we put in our bodies or the resources or through recycling. So you got all these cells, and what happens is your cells begin to eat off of the old, raggedy, broke down cells. It's like going to a junkyard, right? If your car broke down, you need a little fixing on it. We're gonna go to the junkyard and we begin to pick apart things that we need. So once your cell that repairs itself, pick apart the things that we need from these old, broken down, or these cells they called hold on, let me get the word right. I can't get the word right. Uh, these cells that are broken down, once we eat from them, we turn around and we eat that cell up. It's called autophagy. We eat it up because we don't need it no more. We picked everything apart from it that we needed to fix ourselves, and then we throw this cell away or eat it up. These cells are basically, they are stagnant cells that have died, but they won't go nowhere, right? So what happens with all these cells that we have started to accumulate in our bodies, they produce Alzheimer's, they produce diabetes, they produce cancer. Do y'all know we can heal ourselves just by fasting? We can prevent a lot of these ailments that we have if we just simply fast. That's all we have to do. Fasting increases our immunity in our bodies. I don't know nothing better than fasting, right? I know that we change our health and we eat the certain things that Abba has required us to eat, but He's also incorporated fasting into that so that we will be able to maintain and do what He says. So, just talking with a couple of others who normally fast, we sometimes fast collectively as a group or individually. Prior to going into a fast, I would suggest you eat very light, right? Because if you eat light going into that fast, you already conditioning your body to not eat at all. So when you eating heavy and then you start and you finna automatically stop and go to the fast, you start to get headaches, you get nauseated, you get sick, you get sometimes some people get rashes, all these things, but your body is detoxing. But I would much rather my body detox a little than to go through all these issues and detox a lot, right? And so that those are the things that make you feel like I can't do this. I'm not going to make it. But you can just eat light, right? Also, when you go on getting ready to get off of fast, you need to eat light, particularly melons, watermelons, um, what do they call cantaloupes and things like that. Um, I think, oh yeah, that's it. That's all I got, y'all. I'm done.
All right, shalom, sister. Appreciate you. Madeline, did you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, great job, Corliss. You be on the science, girl. Appreciate it. I had a few tips as well. Carlos was talking about the melons and the hydrating. If you know you're going to go into a fast, try to avoid the sodas, the caffeine, the sugary drinks, because it gives you a false sense of hydration. Get your water, spring water, your fruit, your melons, like she said, because it will reduce your cravings. And as you detox off of that sugar, that's where those headaches and things come from, as she mentioned. Also hydrate with room temperature water. When I drink cold water, sometimes I cramp up. The warm water, the room temperature water, doesn't re- require your body to warm it up because you're expending energy even when you're doing that. It also shocks your digestive system when you drink a lot of cold water. So try to hydrate with room temperature water. Try to hydrate before you go into the fast. She hit the eating light. Carlos hit the showers. Trying to see what else I had. Sister Demora mentioned in there about, not letting other people know you fast or whatever, or trying to, don't appear to be fasting. So like Carlos was saying, pace yourself. Um, that's another thing. And when you're fasting or when you come off of the fast, I learned this from Duhart. Because when I used to come off the fast, I'd be like, yeah, I'm about to eat. I'll be sending pictures of my food. And I learned that when you come off of the fast, try to come off and, sip water. Also try to come off with a lighter meal with fruit, vegetables, things like that. Don't eat too heavy because it can make you sick. Pay attention to the symptoms of your body when you're going through the fast. I've almost passed it out before doing a fast. Definitely pace yourself. I do work out sometimes when I fast. You can do that, but you have to know your body. Something that works. Carlos talked about the cold showers. I can go swim, y'all, and feel like a brand new person because that cold water, it does so much for you and your body physically when you're fasting. It slows things down. It constricts and gets that blood going instead of that hot water dilating things and widening your vessels and dropping your pressure. So, cold showers, a cold swim, good. Something else, I had one other thing, I think. Hold on, I'm trying to look for it. Hold on here. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. The sips of water. I talked about that. Oh, I think I hit it. I got everything. I got the extra things that I had. So that was it. Just the room temperature water, the cold showers, the exercising you can do, just being mindful of how your body feels and things like that, and kind of watch how you feel. What symptoms do you have as you're fasting? So the next time you know how to kind of combat that. And just no heavy meals right after. Try to go back in eating lightly. No heavy meal before, no heavy meal after. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, sisters. And one thing that we were lied to about is that you can't go 3 days without water. That's a lie. The sister just said that she went 5 days, and I've done it as well. So don't think that you can't go. When you build yourself up to this point, don't think that you can't do it. Also, when the working out, that's great, but starting out, you may not want to do that. You know, we want to slowly get into it.
Right.
So
Definitely.
yeah, because there was a one time I was fasting and I wasn't working out. I think my wife made me go do something out in the yard and I overdid it. And the fast was gonna be over that day, but it was 3 o'clock. Fast was over at 6. And so in order to make it, I had to lay down on the floor in front of the fan and just wait. Wait. So what I'm saying is just don't overdo it, you know, but do it. And don't say, well, I'm not gonna overdo it, so I ain't gonna do no, do it. Abba requires this of us. And those are all the tips I have. Duhart is gonna read Isaiah 58. And Duhart, if you have anything that you want to add to it, you can go ahead. So you can go ahead, Duhart.
Isaiah 58, starting at verse 1, it says, cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, the house of Jacob, and their sins. And yet they seek me daily and hope to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their allure. And they asked the ordinance of justice, and they delighted in drawing near to allure. Why have we fasted, and thou seest not? Why have we afflicted ourselves, and thou takest no notice? Behold, in the day of your fast, do what you hope, and you present offering to all of your idols. Behold, you fast for strife, for quarreling, to strike violently, and with the fist of wickedness, you shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. It is such a fast that I have chosen, the day for man to afflict his soul and to bow down his head like a bulrush and to spread the sackcloth and the ashes under him. And will you call this a fast? And it is an acceptable day to Yahuwah. And this is the fast that I have chosen, to loosen the bounds of wickedness, to cut off the bounds of treachery, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke, and to share your bread with hunger, and to bring the stranger to your house. And when ye see the naked, to cover him, and to refuse not one of your own flesh. And then you shall light break forth the morning, and your righteousness shall spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before you, and your esteem of Yahuwah shall be your reward. And then you shall call, and Yahuwah shall answer you, and you shall cry, and you shall say, here I am. And if you remove the deceit from your midst, and lease the prisoners, and cease speaking falsehoods, and give your bread to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, and then your light shine in darkness, and your darkness be as noonday. And Yahuwah shall guide you continually, and satisfy your soul with rich food, and strengthen your bones, and ye shall be like in water, garden, and spring whose water fails not. So this right here, this is powerful right here. Our brothers and sisters, they used to fast going into keeping the Shabbat. Also, feast days. I'm gonna hit on some today. I'm doing a study 6 about Judith. She would fast prior going into all the feast days because we know how important the Shabbat and the feast days are. But she wanted her to be right and be presentable to Abba. And one thing I hit on in the scriptures about David and Samuel. You see everybody in the scripture, they went consulted to Abba before they fast. That's important. You need to go to Abba to see whether you need to do a 3-day fast or a 5 day. Make sure you in his will. And then one thing Ox said is real important that we have to do was important to make plans and go to Abba and let him align you when you fast. You got to have his plan and his vision. If you can't vision yourself doing 1 day fast, 3 day fast, you're not going to be able to do it. And that's anything. You have to be able to see it. You have to be able to visualize it. And then another thing that I do that helped me if I'm doing a fast, I have my scriptures, know what I'm fasting for, have the scriptures for those days that I'm fasting. If I'm fasting with someone, we sharing, exchanging scriptures with each other and just meditating on those scriptures. And that's what helped you make it through the fast. And then just the more you do it, the better you get at it. And the real reason why we fast is once you continue to do it, those things that you getting rid of, now it becomes natural. You know how to do it naturally. And your body or the ruach will tell you when you need to do fast. I know this one particular brother that I know about 2 years ago, he told me that it was his spirit was just getting vexed that he needed to fast. And so he started a fast and was about to finish the fast, and he got a call from someone, and their mother was in the hospital and wanted him to pray. And he prayed and was about to finish the fast, and got the phone call back from the brother and said his mother had was okay now. Everything was okay. She was in the hospital, and he said the Ruach revealed to him the reason why he was getting vexed to fast. Abba wanted him to fast so that person's prayer could get through. So when we fast, and a lot of times it might not be for you. Abba might be revealing something to you for your brothers and sisters. And because you trying to walk righteous or do things right, because you presenting yourself, are you acceptable to Abba, those people prayers can get answered through you because you his vessel. And that's it, Abba.
All praises. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that participated. We have one more thing. Madeline has a poem about fasting. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
Sometimes when I'm fasting or praying or whatever, I do write. I just write what comes to my heart. I write it before Abba. Sometimes it's a prayer poem. Sometimes I'm just jotting down thoughts. And this poem is called I Fast. I fast because I want to be near you. Abba Yahuwah, I fast because I desperately want to hear you. I fast to grow. I fast to be enlightened and understand things that I just don't know. Fasting brings revelation. Fasting increases devotion and patience. I fast to overcome my flesh. I fast to do better than my best. Fasting brings temperance. Y'all, that's self-control. Only if I had known to fast, study, and be bold. Bold in spiritual warfare, calling out and rebuking strongholds. I fast, Yahuwah, because I know you hear me. I fast, Yahuwah, that you will draw near me. I fast for faith, strength, wisdom, truth, discernment, obedience, joy, and revelation. I fast against anger, anxiety, wrath, confusion, variances, discord, stumbling blocks, evil plans and plots of my enemies, and all evil principalities and imaginations meant to harm me. Oh, don't be alarmed when I say this. Fasting should be more than a once in a while undertaking. I fast to be free and overcome self. I fast so Hasatan can't win through destruction and death. I fast again so I can be free from whatever is ailing me, spiritually and naturally so. I fast again so I can be free. I fast so I can see the spiritual things I need to know, to understand the next step, what to do and what not to do or say. I fast to slay demons day by day. I fast to get to the next level, more and more to open that door. The door to more truth. Knock and it will be opened. Oh, Abba Yahuwah, I'm still hoping. Others will fast with me and individually to pass the test and realize with every fast, sooner or later, you will be blessed. Flesh may kick and scream when I fast, but I know from experience this too shall pass. It is said that experience is the best teacher. So with each fast, I strive to go spiritually deeper. Even if you don't see it, a change in the spiritual realm has resulted. Something will be different just because Abba Yahuwah I consulted. I fast because I desire more righteousness in my heart. Abba Yahuwah, I fast because I don't want your presence to depart. Abba, stay as I fast. Abba, stay as I pray. Stay and strengthen me to fight and overcome another day. I fast so demons can't have their way. My soul belongs to Abba Yahuwah. Alone I will continue to say. So I'll put fasting into practice while I'm in this way. Oh, Abba Yahuwah, I can't wait to see you in peace on that great day. All praises to the Most High.
All praise.
All praises to the Most High.
Oh, praise.
Oh, praises. That was beautiful, sister. That was so beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing that with
All
us.
praises.
Really touched my heart. Thank you so much.
All praises to Abba. Shalom,
Abba
everybody.
Yahuwah.
That's all I got.